What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's So Rare Game Week 38. This video here is going to help you pick out some of your top lineups. I'm going to share my lineups and some of the tips that I'm saying for guys that I think are going to do really, really well this week. If you didn't know, we actually did hit the giveaway reward last week in the last video. I'll leave it up here or over there, whatever one it is. And basically, go and make sure that you left your So Rare handle in the comments down below for it. Make sure you're subbed to the channel and you like the video to be in with a chance of winning the reward that we got. And for the giveaway for this week, it will be on the limited under 23 lineup. So make sure that you've left your handle, your So Rare handle in the comments down below, you sub to the channel and you've liked the video, because if we hit the reward in that, like the limited veterans one, I'll be giving it away again. I'm going to show the rewards that we got as well from Game Week 36, just, to keep you up to date with my gallery. But in any case, let's jump into my lineups for Game Week 38. Let's go. Right then, as you can see, this is the limited veterans lineup that I'll be giving away. It will be a limited tier 4. We did really well. Kyrie Irving basically pulled us out of the bag with the game against the Sixers for it. So yeah, that will be getting given away. So make sure you're following me on my Twitter, wherever it is here, at George_St. because that's where I'll also probably run it through there as well. In any case, my rare lineups just didn't hit. RJ Barrett, man, what are you doing to me? RJ Barrett really let us down in the rare under 23. We would have won a reward if he'd just put up a semi-normal competent score, but he's not been at it as of late in general, which is a shame. Rare champion, again, missed the mark. This is the issue when you do have the one games. Jaylen Brown with 28, of course, then lets you down and ruins your whole week. Apart from that, they actually had somewhat decent scores. They all outperformed their L10s. Even Bol outperformed their L10. But yeah, rare contender wasn't meant to be, but I really do like the look of my lineups for this week. So let's take a look at them right now. Right then, as the video says, and is the thumbnail, I have made some playoff purchases. They were also entwined with a video that I was trying to make for this week that I will now do either next week or the week after. It just didn't work on the premise of trying to get two guys and then they got injured and so on and so forth. You'll understand when the video comes out, but it will be a good one when it drops. In any case, for the red champion lineup this week, now this is where this is famous last words. I understand this, don't worry. I've got Paul. I don't know why it's really like sort of big in terms of it here, but I've got Paul George as my MVP. He's outperforming his cap for an L10 of 40. I've got Jaylen Brown at 38. Marcus Smart, a new addition to the gallery for the playoffs. I'm looking at him. You probably saw a couple here. Do you know, actually, let's just show you it in this case. My cards. So we went and picked up. We've been busy. Been wheeling dealing is what we should say. So we've picked up. We've got 9 here. So we've got Jimmy Butler that we picked up in a trade, along with, I know Jimmy Butler might have just been on its own, I think it was, which was a player, an ETH or an ETH, just in general trade. Drew Holiday, Marcus Smart, De'Anthony Melton, and Lou Dort was all part of another trade. Who did I do these with? We'll shout them out. So CR333P, and for Jimmy Butler, it was with Magnus 0884. So yeah, I mean, those trades got done. Those were somewhat for the video that I'm trying to make that will have to be done at another time. But in any case, those were 2 separate trades. Devin Booker I picked up for Kyrie Irving plus ETH from a guy called Sorare Kino. And then the last trade that I did last night was with a guy called Sorare Bundesliga. And we got a Cam Reddish, a Paul Reed, and a Tobias Harris. Now, Cam Reddish was also done as a substitute for the video. Again, I don't want to ramble on about it. It will be out soon, but it's a twist on building lineups is all I'll say. Anyway, back to my lineup. For rare champion, we've got Paul George, 2 games. We've got Jaylen Brown, 2 games. And I would say a low L10 for Jaylen Brown now, especially against the Knicks and the Knicks and the Nets here. They're going to be 2 games where Boston are really, really going to want to win these games in general. I really want Jaylen Brown for this. Marcus Smart was one of the pickups. I'm looking at putting my gallery in a state now where I'm not only buying playoff team guys, but I am angling towards it. There is no confirmation of what So Rare NBA are going to do for the playoffs yet. I'm just speculating that there's going to be something quite good for it. The only example that we've got from them doing playoff stuff is in the baseball side, on the MLB side. And that was a bit sort of to and fro-y. And baseball's very different to basketball anyway in series and whatnot. But for the NBA side of things, I'm going to focus sort of trying to pivot in that manner, because I'm not putting blinders on, because I am going to try and get some of the tanking team guys. LaMelo's out for the season. I want to pick up a LaMelo ball, even though I'm going to lose the percentage bonus on these cards. I still think that the lower value price that you can get them for and hold them is going to be better in the long run than trying to pick them up in the new year anyway. Of course, I have to prefix this. None of this is financial advice, but this is just how I'm seeing things from my POV. In any case, back to the lineup. This is why you've clicked on the video. Jeremy Grant is here as well. He's really, really outperforming his projections, and so is my last guy here, Kelly Oubre Jr. This is a man I bought probably. I think he might have been my very first rare purchase. If not, it was Andrew Nemhard or Andrew Wiggins 3 or 4 months ago. I've kept him throughout his injury. He's now at 19% for me. So again, another reason you should try and hold on to guys more than flipping and flopping them, because you will get these game weeks where when they're suddenly all of a sudden projecting really well, you've got a really high percentage boosting one, which in the minute manners will count towards something at the very minimum. And I mean, if we go on to sort of Sorare data here quickly, and we look through, we're on the right week? No, we're on the wrong week. If we go to the right week and we change the difference, not that way. If we change the difference for this week, Kelly Oubre Jr. is like, what, the 5th performing guy out of his projection? He's projecting 38. That's primarily because he's playing the Magic. But even so, and LaMelo's out, so he was starting again. But he's a 6th man that played 25 minutes anyway. But him and Jeremy Grant are both projecting really well. And I think all of the guys on this team here, all of these guys here, Kelly Oubre Jr. and Jeremy Grant are really outperforming their L10s in projections. And so is Marcus Smart and Jaylen Brown and Paul George. So, look, again, famous last words, but I'm quite confident about this lineup. Moving on. Now, I've always prioritized, you should prioritize your rare champion and just your champion lineups in general. And I've somewhat done that, but I also have gone into Rare Western Conference because unlike last week with the rare under 23s, this is pulling 140 places. Oh yeah, not just top 100, top 140. So if you want to get that tier 4, that £15 card, you are right in the money for Rare Western Conference this week. Okay, back to it. So like I've mentioned before, I do have an MVP in Jaren Jackson Jr. That does help. I think he was projecting pretty much his L10 anyway. Anthony Gordon's will be outperforming his L10. 39 is too low for him. Aaron Gordon, 1 game. He did this to me last week against the Rockets. 38 is too high for Aaron Gordon, but he allows me to then play a Sohan, and a Cam Reddish is someone I picked up in regards to the rewards. Actually, I didn't show you my rewards. I'll show you them right now. Okay, so our limited card here for tier 4, we're going to get Jazz, forward, Juan Toscano Anderson, of some use when he was at the Lakers, not so much now at the Jazz. Right, the tier 4 rare. They can be useful. Bulls, guard. Alex Caruso, we'll take some of that. There's a lot of Bulls fans that love a bit of Alex Caruso. Yeah, it's a decent tier 4 option that we got there. And then the tier 3 one. I'm hoping for Dylan Brooks for my lineups, but here we go. Magic, forward. Wendell Carter Jr. We take that. I've already got one of them, but we definitely take that. And then a tier 1 common card. Bucks, forward. It's Giannis Antetokounmpo. Oh, it's not even that. It's Middleton. It's Chris Middleton. Great. Coming back. But yeah, these are the I don't know why I did that in that manner, but yeah, this is my Rare Western Conference team. Am I confident? Can it finish 140? It definitely can. The issue is there are a lot of really good MVPs out there in the West, and I wouldn't say Jaren Jackson Jr. is the best, so that's my only concern. And also Aaron Gordon on a 1 game, but look, there is potential, is what we'll say. And then Rare Contender. So Drew Holiday, Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler, the reason I'm also not doing the thing is Jimmy Butler is now questionable. I think he'll play one of these games, don't get me wrong. It's just, I don't want to risk it, if I'm being completely honest. And I'm fine with having Jimmy in the gallery for a while. He's always a solid point scorer when he's playing. And more importantly, come playoff time, he will be having a usage rate that is out of this world for Jimmy Butler. So regardless of that, Rare Contender, he just doesn't fit. They're too high, realistically, him and Drew, to fit into a Rare Contender lineup. So scrolling through this, Bol is a guy I bought the other week, well, a couple of weeks back now, with an L10 at 12. It's always really low, and there's always a scope for him to do well. This is the issue with these guys. It's just not clicking at the moment with Bol in his minutes on the floor for the Magic. Trendon Watford, I could go to Nemhard on the 1 game against the Bulls, but I just feel that with the back-to-back on road games, there is a chance that one of your sort of I mean, he's been playing as a backup for Drew Eubanks, I believe, anyway. There is a chance that Jeremy Grant sits one or Thibault Reddish sit one, and then the whole team gets shifted about for the Blazers. And the whole team then gets shifted about for the Blazers. And in which case, you know, I'll probably run with him for this on the premise that 16 is quite low. He can get in the mid-20s as he's done here, and a 30 point against the Wizards. But yeah, Nemhard's been a funny one anyway, so I don't really want to run with him on a one game. This then allowed me to have Alex Caruso, which is one of the guys I won as a reward. I mean, look, he's not going to set the world on fire at 17. There's definite scope that he can go below that, but depending on how the Bulls are performing, if he gets a few steals, who knows? RJ Barrett has definitely not been setting the world on fire as of late. 25 is all right for him. I'd probably want it a little bit lower, but it's what it is for an RJ Barrett. I'm not picking Caleb Martin. I'm not worried about Caleb Martin in the sense, I know everyone's gone down in value regardless, but since Kevin Love's come in, he's now shifted to that sort of backup 3 unit. Now, if Jimmy Butler is ruled out, like definitely out of the game before the lock, I might swap them because Caleb Martin will start at the 3, I'd suspect. Maybe Max Strus does, or they go mental and put Duncan Robinson in there. But of any case, there is then scope that Caleb Martin's usage will go back up because of the Jimmy Butler sort of void. But if not, I will run RJ Barrett. And then, yeah, that allowed me to choose one of these 2 guys here, of Mikal Bridges and Drew Holiday. And if I'm being honest, at the minute, I'm just going to go Mikal Bridges primarily because of that game against the Hornets. The Nets are in this weird spot where you don't know what are they doing now for the season. I still think they're pushing for the playoffs. They're just not as good as they were, obviously, when you lose Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant, funnily enough. But Mikal Bridges is a solid 2-way guy. He can definitely put up big scores. In the game against the Hornets, I'd suspect it. 39 is high, but, you know, who knows? But yeah, that's my rec contender. Now, the lineup that I'm the most excited of in terms of projection and what it could do is limited contender. Now, I know what you're hearing. Like, limited contender, really? Out of all of the 6 ones here that you're in, limited contender is going to be a favourite. Hear me out. So, Matisse Thybulle, if we go back to Sorare data, Matisse Thybulle is the 4th highest projecting guy this week against the Hawks with an L10 with a projected game week score of 27. Cam Reddish, we've already touched on before here, who is in, if I go back to my lineup, Cam Reddish here. We go back. Cam Reddish is where? Where was he? He's here. Projecting 26 on 17. Solid start, 2 for 2. We go back. Share this tab. Franz Wagner, 24. If we go back to Sorare data, where is Franz Wagner? Oh no, don't do this to me. Franz, don't do this to me. Magic. Where is he? Okay, it's only 5, but he's still out projecting his cap. Dylan Brooks. Dylan Brooks and me have got beef because every week this man is out projecting his L10 and he never seems to deliver. Where's Memphis? There are the Grizzlies. Dylan Brooks, 9 out projecting his cap. And then last but not least, we went and picked up the Devin Booker that we mentioned on the trade with Ethan Kyrie Irving. And I don't know if he'll be as high as he was prior, but Devin Booker, I'll go to the Suns. Yeah, he's up 5, 34 and a 39. And with Booker and these sort of ilk of players, like 39 isn't going to be his ceiling game if he has one. He could go into the 50s, the 60s and above. Also, depending on if Kevin Durant sits a game, which he very much can do, depending on the fact he's just come back from a big MCL injury. So Devin Booker's usage would explode again. But on that premise, I've got 5 guys here that are all projecting to outperform their L10s, barring Booker, who's only got 6%. They've all got decent percentages. But anyway, because of all of this, I'm quite optimistic, shall we say, about this lineup. So yeah, that's my limited contender. We will roll into limited champion as well as we go. And for this one, essentially, oh wait, hang on. For limited champion then, we've got big man, Joel Embiid. We've got, and look, again, I've heard myself talk. He has one game. It is against the Bucks. But in these sort of games, these are where this type of player, and especially of Embiid's mindset, he's going to want to put on a big performance just to sort of push himself in that MVP race. I don't think he's going to win it. He probably would be my pick. I don't think he's going to win it anyway. Again, like I've mentioned before, I bought this Embiid months ago to be an MVP Unlimited side. He's going to be my MVP. I could go De'Aaron Fox, but an L10 of 50 is really high for him. Ja Morant's being safe for the under 23s. So Paul George is outperforming his L10. He'll go in. Oh, he's out projecting, I should say. Projecting his L10. Jared Vanderbilt, 24, fine. There's no LeBron. Usage should go up. He did massively let me down in the last 2 weeks. But, you know, we'll roll with him. Bowl, L10 12, an enabler to get the likes of Nikola Vucevic in. And Nikola Vucevic here, 42 plus 9. I've got 2 games of him. 42 again is too high, but he can always have that random game where he just gets a triple-double and a 25-pointer with like a steal and a block. So, yeah, Vucevic I bought ages back because that's the sort of player that he is. But yeah, Limited Champion might get a tier 5 or a tier 4, but apart from that, I don't expect much else. But I mean, this is so rare NBA. Who knows what can happen? And then last but not least, we have Limited Under 23. Now, I haven't built this yet because primarily I'm still waiting on a trade to go through for one more guy. Ja Morant will be my MVP for this. Quite confident on that one. You will get some people that will just play their Lucas and stuff like that in this. But Ja Morant is a solid choice. Sort of in the top 5 MVPs for this selection, definitely. Lou Dort, 28. 2 games against the Jazz. Oh, what a series that's going to be, that mini road game. The Thunder v the Jazz. Tune in for that one. Trey Jones, Jalen Duren. Trey Jones is back. 2 games against the Rockets. The same thing with Sohan in my rare competitions. I quite like him at 23. He's projecting at 27. Jalen Duren's only got 1 game against the Cavs, but these sort of game modes I'm not going to go out of the way with to buy. I say this, I am trying to buy for the last slot a Jaren Jackson Jr. Now the reason the reason I'm doing it is that I can trade. I've got some guys like the Tobias Harris and a few other pieces that I'm okay with trading. This would then mean that I get, and this is why I'm going after Jaren Jackson Jr. as well. He is in a playoff team, and the Grizzlies are a good playoff team. Well, they should go at least into the second round, is what I'm saying by this. So this would be an enabler for teams that I can use for the playoffs. But yeah, so Jaren Jackson Jr., I think he's got an L10 of 40, so that'll fill me up here. And then, like I've mentioned before, if we do win a reward in this limited under 23 lineup, I will be giving it away. So make sure you're sub to the channel, you like the video, and your Sorare handle is in the comments down below. I'm not going to even bother doing my common teams. If I'm actually, you know what, I'll just do them right now. Pick up Dame, Tatum. What have we got? 23. See, Sohan. The issue with these now is these used to be really fun to put together, but if you're a long time sort of user on the NBA platform, you just don't care anymore. That's the one issue with this update and what they've changed. I get why they did it, so people have more of an option that haven't been playing it for a long time to move into the limited side of things, like they've done with the semi-pro stuff on the Premier League on the football side. But like for us now, like I've got 95 common cards. They're just pointless. Oh, this is on under 23 MVP, because like what am I doing it for? Because you don't win anything from here apart from common cards, of which like what can you do with them? There's no, like, it's not even if they removed the common side of the game on the limited rewards and then offered intangible or other sort of items. That's the one thing that I think they need to change again, because I think in the long run, I mean, they've probably got all the data on it anyway, but in the long run, for what I see this as, it seems a bit of a strange move. But, you know, we'll throw the lineup together. What we'll do: Edwards, Kenny Martin Jr., Sengun, Bosch. That's it, done. And then, yeah, I mean, I'll put all my training lineups together. Never forget your training, as always. So that's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure you're subbed to the channel. Some of the guys that I've mentioned in this one as well, obviously the projections are just projections. Don't take them as gospel. They're not 100% going to happen, obviously. Make sure you've left your Sorare handle in the comments down below to take a part, to be in with a chance of winning if we hit in the limited under 23 mode. And also don't forget to make sure that your Sorare handle is on the last video that we did, because we won and we're going to give that away. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and peace.